Today the biggest news comes from the Pokrovsk direction. Here, the Russian forces are looking for a way to outflank the Ukrainian resistance in northern Pokrovsk after suffering terrible losses for weeks. However, the Ukrainian defenders are prepared and on the lookout for any approaching Russians, ready to destroy them with swarms of drones. The Ukrainians have successfully prevented enemy penetrations north of the railway line, so the Russians want to attack the western flank and advance towards Hryshyne. The Russian objective is to isolate northern Pokrovsk and endanger its supply routes, thereby intensifying the pressure. Such a disruption could compel the remaining Ukrainian forces to withdraw, as their positions would become unsustainable in an already hard situation. By forcing a Ukrainian pullback to more favorable terrain, the Russian command would avoid direct assaults and house-to-house close-quarter engagements that would otherwise inflict substantial casualties on their units. Russia's approach to attack Hryshyne bases on the element of surprise and the deployment of quick-moving motorcycles and buggies to mount a lightning assault and drop-off infantry inside the village, as it is only 3.5 kilometers away from the Russian-controlled part of Pokrovsk. To achieve this, Russia aims to exploit its consolidation of gains in southern Pokrovsk, which serves as a staging ground for its forces, and the buildings provide partial protection from Ukrainian drones. Another factor is the local road, which is in relatively good condition, leading directly to Hryshyne from Pokrovsk, which allows the Russians to try to push quickly towards the settlement and surprise the Ukrainians. Unfortunately for the Russians, some of Ukraine's most capable drone units are deployed in this sector, conducting tight surveillance of the area because they expect a Russian attack. The Ukrainian command can also utilize the extensive defensive fortifications which were built behind Pokrovsk with the purpose of stopping exactly this type of assault. The beginning of the winter season is an obstacle for the Russian efforts because despite the presence of tree lines along the roads, they currently provide no concealment, and with the onset of snowfall, even smaller vehicles such as buggies and motorcycles become significantly easier for drone operators to detect. At the same time, Ukraine's forces are also not in an ideal position, simultaneously defending the western and northern parts of Pokrovsk and the northern flank of the wider urban agglomeration. This creates a substantial operational burden that increases the risk of missing Russian assault groups, leaving Ukrainian units overstretched. According to Ukrainian Commander-in-Chief Syrsky, the Russians still possess enough manpower in this sector after accumulating approximately 155,000 troops, which gives them a substantial advantage over the Ukrainians, despite the heavy losses. Geolocated footage from Ukrainian drone operators captures the sequence of the Russian attack and how early the advancing forces were detected. Despite the vehicle's speed and maneuverability, the column was halted roughly 1 kilometer after departing Pokrovsk, where the lead vehicle was immediately targeted. Additional footage shows the aftermath, with all vehicles burning simultaneously, clear evidence that multiple strikes were delivered at once. Since drone attacks do not always achieve a kill on the first attempt, the number of destroyed vehicles indicates that dozens of Ukrainian drones were already positioned to intercept the assault, preventing any Russian unit from reaching Hryshyne. Another video shows surviving Russian soldiers attempting to continue their advance, but in their panic, they failed to disperse, allowing a single FPV drone to neutralize them. In total, the failed Russian push resulted in the destruction of 10 vehicles and the loss of 40 soldiers, eliminating their attempt to execute an outflanking maneuver. Overall, Russia's new approach of attacking the western flank towards Hryshyne by surprise resulted in even more losses, as the Russian command disregarded the high activity of the Ukrainian drone units, which monitor and punish every movement. Ukrainian drone operators proved their effectiveness again and demonstrated how important they are for holding the line in and around Pokrovsk. These developments may compel Russian forces to adjust their tactics or turn their attention to another part of the front line around the embattled town. If you would like to explore other key developments today that we couldn't cover in this video, make sure to visit our interactive news map. The base map is completely free to use, so even with a free membership you can follow the frontline updates daily and preview the latest news and combat footage. More importantly, the map lets you see exactly where the most significant events are unfolding, giving you a complete overview of the global situation in just 5 minutes a day. The link to our interactive map is in the description below. Thank you for watching this update, and a special thanks to everyone already following our interactive map.